Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Raeann, but you can call me Ray. Today's video, I'm bringing this palette back, you guys. I'm bringing it back. This is the Ace Scarlet Dusk palette. This is what we're working with. But yes, so they came out with this palette and the Vintage Dawn palette. I did a video with both of them already, and then I did a separate video with the Vintage Dawn palette. Today we're going to do two looks with this palette right here, and then at the end I kind of tell you guys how I'm feeling about the palettes. I already went over that in some of my other videos, so if you didn't watch the original video with both palettes or the video with the Vintage Dawn palette, I will link them below. I swear I'll remember to do that one day. And I do go over like how I'm feeling about the palette so far. But today we're gonna do two looks with this palette here, and then like I said, I'll talk about everything. My thoughts are like all jumbled right now, so if you want to see this look and the other look with this palette right here, I don't know why I'm still holding it up, then go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so this is what we got going on so far. I was about to film and then I like looked and I didn't do like anything under my eye, and I was like, I mean I could film, but it felt incomplete and weird. So this is kind of what's going on right here now. I did already do liner, but I feel like this look just needed it, so normally I wouldn't do liner until like after I've already like finished both eyes, but I'm back again with the liquid lip for eyeliner. Like, I'm back. I swear I was doing it for like almost every single look for a while. Same thing with glitter, but I'm back with the liquid lip liner. Oh my god, words. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into this. So I feel like this look was fairly simple, but we're gonna start with this shade right here. The shade. Anyways, because I'll just use this palette for my mirror today. I desperately need more brushes, by the way, because the one that I really like using for like my transition like crease shade is dirty right now. Also need to get a color switch. I don't have one of those. Don't ask me why I don't have one of those yet, but yeah, this brush is a little too big for this, for my liking at least. But so from here I just go into this Sunset Rose shade. Again, not probably the brush I would really use for this, but we're working with what's clean, alright? So from here, just take a tiny bit of this more, I guess it's more of a darker berry shade, but I totally thought it was brown earlier. But we're going to take this shade right here. I'm just going to take a little bit of it just to kind of start deepening the look up a little bit more. And then really put it into that area where we're going to cut the crease out. Not really using it in the rest of the look as much, but really in this area here, and then also gonna go back into the first shade that we started with, so shade, and that's just gonna kind of go in the same areas to kind of help blend that out but still deepen up that part right there. Okay. So I think this is alright to stop here, and then I'll cut out the crease and then I'll show you guys what I did for everything else. So I'm back. I don't know why exactly, but this shape of this concealer part right here reminds me of a dinosaur. I don't know, it reminds me of a dinosaur. I can't explain why, but you know, that's fine. I do dinosaur cut creases, dinosaur inspired makeup apparently. So yeah, we'll just go into this now. The next shade we're gonna use is Aruba. And I will say, the last time that I used this palette, I wasn't really happy with the shimmers. So on top of the concealer, I also used a eyeshadow primer on top of that just to try to help me apply everything, and then hopefully, I mean, I think it definitely looks better than what it's looked like before, but the shadows are coming out really textured still, so I'm running out of ideas, but I don't think it looks horrible. We're gonna go ahead and use this shade, and it's just gonna be a lot of padding and bringing it, like building it up basically. So I'll probably cut out a decent amount just because it's all gonna be that shade basically, and then we're gonna go into the shade that was next to it, Hibiscus, and only very, very slightly towards the end of towards the edge of the look, I guess, like this part right here. Okay, so now we're gonna go into Hibiscus. So this shade right here. And we're really not going to use that much of it, but I'm just kind of using this to deepen up the outside, and then we'll go into our matte shades. I was going to use more of this color, but it just, like you can see it now, it just kind of does like an awkward transition. It doesn't really blend that well into the other shade, since the other shade is so much lighter. So I'm just using this on the outside so we can more easily blend into the darker matte shades. And then I'm basically just going back into Aruba over Hibiscus, like the areas that I did too much of, or I guess I used too much of the other shade on. And then from there, we're gonna go into shade. So the very first shade that we used, kind of deepen everything up. I'm just gonna get a little bit closer right in here, a little bit to deepen that back up. A little bit of shade, a tiny bit of nocturnal, so that deeper shade that we used earlier. I just want to use the bigger, fluffier brush for shade. Right here. And then we can also go back into Sunset Rose, so that lighter orangey shade, kind of bring that back into the look. And from here I used this neon orangey shade. Oh my god, okay. So this crimson shade right here. Every time I hear of the word crimson, I think of Crimson Chin from Fairly Odd Parents. I'm literally like 10 years old still, okay? I can't help it. So that's gonna be our under eye shade. Also, I have so much new makeup. And like skincare stuff from the holidays. A lot of things that I've never tried before. So I'm super excited because I'm gonna be using some of that after I'm done with my eye look. I'm gonna go into a bunch of new products, so I'm excited. And basically, after this, I go into one of my Wicked Sisters lip products that I have. So it's a liquid lip, and it's in the shade Hex Your Ex. So this is Wicked Sisters. If you've never seen their products before, this is actually their old packaging, so their new lip products, or their lip products are in a new package, basically. But yeah, so this shade is like a darker burgundy color. I know I should clean off the wand, but this is what it looks like. And that's gonna be my eyeliner, so I'm just gonna tell you guys really fast how I do it. So basically I just use like a smaller eyeliner brush, like something really thin like this. This is the Suva Beauty 620 brush. I just take the applicator out. So take this out, and then I just take the excess, so whatever is on the actual like doe foot, or sometimes I'll even take it from the bottom, from the actual like stem. I don't know. But I take it from there, and then I just do the eyeliner how I normally would. Then I also use that Aruba shade, so the one that's all over the lid, as the inner corner highlight too. And then that's basically it for the look. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the eyeliner, finish up the rest of my face, and I'll show you guys what everything looks like. Alright, so this is the finished look. Okay, so this is it. I always feel so weird when I'm like show you guys what it looks like. Don't know why, don't ask me why, I'm just like, Anyways, I have a confession. As I started doing the other eye, I realized I literally have done this exact, almost exact look before. Forgive me, because yeah, a lot of things coming in, so I'll be really busy once I go back to work and also having to film everything. So I'm not gonna refilm this look. I'm sorry. But yeah, this is really similar to a look I've already done. I believe it was in one of the ColourPop videos that I did. I think, I don't know, I like scrolled through my phone and I was like, this is totally like really similar to a look I already did. And I did it in the beginning of this month, so I am sorry. Even similar to like, I even use the darker like lipstick for the liner technique. Like, that's how similar this is. But I will say, I think this one actually came out better, but they're really similar, so I'm sorry if you guys watched that video and you're looking at this and you're like, I genuinely, like, towards the end of the look, I was like, I feel like I've done this before. And then I looked and I was like, I totally have done this before. So, sorry. My apologies. Let's go ahead and get into the second look. That hopefully won't be like one I've already done. Okay, so this is what's going on for the second look. This one is so easy, you guys. Like, this is so easy. It's crazy. Like, I guess we look decently blended. For sure, I need to clean stuff up. My face is a little irritated from the last look that we just did. I'm filling this both basically at the same time. Sometimes I don't do that, so there's a lot of makeup missing on my face and my face is a little irritated. That's why. So this eye's already primed. Just go ahead and get into it. So this is just a very like berry smoky toned look. I think I'm gonna pop lashes on after this, and then I'm not sure what I want to do for the lip. If I want to match it or if I want to go with like a gloss or something. But anyways, the first shade that we're gonna take is the Sangria shade. Just love this whole row of colors. Oh, I mean, I love the palette in general, like the color scheme of the palette, but those berry tones are so pretty. By the way, I was totally wearing the orange version of this little cardigan, like this little fuzzy cardigan thing. Like, look at how cute that is. But yeah, I actually found that they were selling different colors now, and I was like, yep, I'm getting the black one. I might get the other ones too. I think they had like a baby pink and like a baby blue. Not typically the colors I would wear, but I've been thinking about it. I'm like, I kinda want to get it. I'm just dipping into other colors on accident, so let's just pretend like I wasn't doing that. So from there, we're just gonna go into the shade that's right above it. So I was gonna call it Sangria again. So Bahamas. And that'll kind of be the shade to kind of diffuse it and to kind of blend out on the edges. Maybe using a slightly too big of a brush right now. But this look is kind of smoked out and I'm gonna say messy. I don't actually really mean messy, but it's fairly smoked out, so I feel like it's okay for it to be messy right now. And then we're gonna go into Nocturnal. I am just using the same brush. But we're gonna go into this Nocturnal shade right here. I'm holding this palette really weird. Look at my pinky. Okay. By the way, I had Christmas nails. I feel like I didn't even film with these on. They were cute, except this one, the little accent nail got kind of messed up, so don't pay attention to that. Oh my god. My hair is like, I was trying to go, I mean, I know you can't see the top of it. I was trying to go with like a cute little like messy bun, and it's not looking very cute right now, but okay. So we're gonna go into Nocturnal, just deepening up this look, and then that's also gonna be our lid shade. A different brush for that. Where the one is that I was using, I don't know. I'm debating if I want to do a winged liner with this. Maybe. For some reason, I was having a hard time building the shade up on the lid. It felt like it was going on kind of patchy, and like it wasn't taking on some of my lid for some reason. So I did end up going in with my finger just to kind of pack on the color a little bit more. Okay, and then I think I missed a little bit in that inner corner, so there's like a little bit of glue or something from the last look that I did. Everything's like getting sucked into that one part, but we're gonna end up putting eyeliner over it, so hopefully you won't be able to see. At least a little bit of eyeliner. Okay, so basically I just go back into all of the colors that I already used, and then just to kind of make sure everything is getting blend out. I'll make sure everything's blending out nicely. Is literally just going in kind of like in reverse order. And then also, so I'm gonna take a clean brush and then just like buff everything out. And then from there, I also took a different shade, but I'm looking for the brush again. This lighter pinky shade, Lotus. Oh my god. Just gonna hold everything. Instead of putting things down, I'm just gonna keep it here. Makes sense. Okay, so I just go into this Lotus shade and then just kind of add that into there. And then my under eye color, I'm constantly losing my brushes. Okay, and then the under eye color is going to be the Bahamas shade that we used earlier. So just kind of swipe that underneath. Oh, I got glue on my lashes still. Okay. I want a little ham. A little bit. That's alright, we'll clean that up. It's no big deal. And then we're gonna go into this Maui shade. So I decided to go in with this shade here for my highlight shade. I wanted to use this one, but if you guys remember from the other videos that I've done with these palettes, the shimmers just aren't the greatest. I'm just gonna come out and say that. They're not the greatest. To be honest, I didn't... Okay, so when I got these palettes, I was like, yes, I'll do one look for each palette. So this one and the Vintage Dawn palette. It's like, yep, that's a perfect idea. And then I'll do 2 looks for each palette because I think that's fun. And then, you know, if I had time, then maybe I would do 3 looks for each palette. But yeah, so that's where I was going with these. I was really excited for them. And then, of course, I got them and they're okay. They're okay. They're not the worst. I'm just going to use this layer a little bit under my brow. I will say for the most part the mattes are really nice, but the shimmers are just not that great. So going into these set of videos, it's just like, do I still want to do this? Because I already knew that I didn't like the shimmers. I was going to do this Aurora shade instead, and like even just dipping into the pan, or yeah, the pan right now, it's like that's barely even picking up anything. So I'm not sure what happened to those shimmers, but some of them are alright, and I think the lighter ones are the easier ones to work with. Everything else is just not that pigmented. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this look, kind of put on makeup that decided to fall off of my face. I just spit everywhere too. I'm lovely, okay? Anyways, I'm gonna finish up this look, probably put some lashes on, maybe even like a waterline eyeliner, like a brighter color pink or something. Or maybe I want it darker. I don't know. But I'm gonna finish everything up and then I'll show you guys. Okay, so this is the finished look. Fixed myself. Alright. Okay, so this is it. Overall, super simple. I don't really do looks like this too often. I feel like I should do more of them because I actually think this looks pretty cute. Also, I did like a little bit of a darker like glossy lip, which I'm kind of here for. Like, I actually really like this. Overall, it's very dark, but you know what? It's vampy and I like it, so we're good. Alright, so this isn't gonna be a review really, but I know I've said that a million times in my last couple videos, but just so you guys know, so I did basically this is my third video in, I'm gonna call it this series really, with these palettes. So they're the Ace Scarlet Dusk and Vintage Dawn palettes. I did a video with them together. I did a video with the other palette separately, so Vintage Dawn, and then I did one with this palette right here. The one thing I just want to let you guys know, in case you didn't see all of the videos, just feel the need to let you guys know like my thoughts on the palette so far. So basically, color story aside, because they both are gorgeous, like the Vintage Dawn palette is a little more my style than this one is, but I also really like the color story in this one too. But besides that, the shimmers are just not the greatest. They're just really not that good. Like, they're just not good. I feel like the other palette, the shimmers are a little bit better for some reason. Like, I just felt like they were easier to work with. But the ones in here, really, I mean, this is kind of what you're working with. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's just what's in here. I don't really know what else to say. I've tried to apply them a couple different times, or like a couple different ways with a couple different things. It still doesn't feel like they're really, like, I really don't know if I can really work with them. I'm for sure going to keep this palette and the other palette because I love the mattes in them. I feel like the mattes are good quality, and I've never really had any issues with Ace palettes before, so this itself is just kind of, you know, it's just kind of a bummer. I mean, even the swatches on the back of my hand, those are just not very pigmented at all. They just take a while to build up, and then they do feel like they bring out a lot of texture on my eyes. The lighter ones are a little bit easier to work with than the like brighter colors, but overall, I mean, you could use them, yes, but there are definitely other shimmer shades that I would gravitate towards first, other than these palettes. So that being said, the mattes are gorgeous. They're really easy to work with. The darker ones are a little bit more on the patchy side, but nothing too crazy. All of the other matte shades were really easy for me to work with. It's just those shimmer shades that really, like, they would deter me from using these palettes, because I have so many palettes where they're good no matter what, you know, like the mattes are great, the shimmers are great, I can just pick up one palette and work with that. Once you have to start taking multiple different palettes and creating one look, then I personally just start to kind of stray away from that palette, where I look at it and I can't use it completely. Like, I don't know, it's one thing having like a certain color story and like a look in your head and being like, yes, I can use this shade, this shade, this shade, this palette, this palette, this palette, and then picking up a palette and being like, I can't fully work with just this palette, if that makes sense. Other than that, mattes are great, color story, beautiful, just the shimmers are just not really that great. So other than that, I did really enjoy creating these two looks and the other looks that I did in the other videos. I do like the color story, and I mean, look at this. I mean, this is really pretty. Like, the tones of this and the, like, just the mattes in general were super easy to work with. So, you know, if I grab this palette, I'm going to be doing looks like this and not necessarily anything that's super shimmer like dependent. I mean, these lighter shades are a little bit easier to work with, especially this Aruba shade. Like, that one's probably the best shimmer out of the whole palette. But yeah, I don't want to keep on like repeating the same things over and over and over again, because I'm good at that. So overall, I like the two looks that I was able to create with this palette and even the other one in the initial video. I am going to keep working with them, but right now, as it stands, I'm looking at these palettes just for the mattes and not the shimmers. The end. Like, you know, I think I said everything I could say. Alright, anyways, this is the end of the video. We made it, okay? We're here. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We'll see you next time.